I'm Ryan, your host for The Toast, and this time we're going to be talking about Mad Max. No subtitle there. It's the game, not the movies. It's the game. Now, I know it's been a long time since this game came out. I mean, this game released with the release of the Blu-ray of Mad Max Fury Road. So it's been a while, and I'm only getting around to finishing it now because I've been busy and it's a long game. But what I can tell you is that as a movie tie-in game goes, this ain't half bad. Now, the story of Mad Max is nothing new. It's what Mad Max does. He's out in the desert messing shit up. So if you don't know who Mad Max is, he's the road warrior. He lost his family when he was kind of a cop, and then during the apocalypse, now he just drives around the desert and meets crazy people. But he's mad. He's supposed to be kind of crazy, but yeah, he's still the sanest person in this land. Which is kind of a neat little concept, because if he's the sane one in a world of crazy people, then he's the one that's actually mad. Anyway, he's trying to cross the plains of silence, but shit happens. He loses his car, and then he meets this hunchback, and who builds him a new car, and you have adventures together, and that's the game. It's not heavy on story. But what it lacks for in story, it really does make up for in the world it's built, in the characters that fill this world. And also, a big plus is that this movie is in continuity. It happens before Mad Max Fury Road, so if you want kind of like a prequel experience, this is perfect. You kind of get to see the lead up to Fury Road about him, like his mission, wanting to cross the Plains of Silence and what happens to him, and it leaves him off right where the movie practically begins. The main villain in this game is Scabrous Scrotus. He's the third son of Morton Joe. So you kind of get to see why the war boys are hunting him at the start of the movie. And because it fits so well into the continuity of the movies, you get to see everything you recognize from the films, like the war boys and the buzzers and just the pure desolation. Graphically speaking, the game looks pretty damn good. I mean, it's not a pristine, high-quality game, but I have no complaints. It was actually really pretty. It handled stuff like storms very well. I mean, when a dust storm hit, it was intense. It was loud. It was in your face. It felt dangerous. And the sound effects too. I'm not about the sound effects, but the way the sounds are presented to you is through the PS4 controller. First time that happened, it really caught me off guard. I mean, this is like when you open crates and all kinds of stuff, you get the sound out of the controller, it's the first game I've played that really does do that. It really does start to mess with you later in the game too, when you're starting to hear voices, like this little girl's voice. It comes out of the controller during the end battle, and it freaks you right out, being like, it's talking to me. Now, like I said before, this world is packed with colorful characters, and ones that really do not disappoint. Griffer, the Outcry, Crow Dazzle, I mean, even the dog. Yes, there's a dog in this movie because Mad Max is always depicted kind of with a canine companion. Granted, he doesn't play a huge role, but it's still a nice thing to put in the game. And of course, your faithful companion Chum Bucket. He's this one big, lovable bucket of chum. He's what's called a black finger, because his fingers are black because he's a mechanic. He deals with oil and grunge and all the time. And he's a really good one. In fact, he builds you a new car. And that's really where the game kind of does shine, because building and customizing your own vehicle for the apocalypse is pretty fun. I just wish it wouldn't burst on fire every time I slammed the door too hard. That is one of the things I didn't like about the game, was the car combat, because like one little ram and you basically got to bail out of the car and fight everyone hand to hand, while Chum Bucket is frantically fixing the thing. Granted, there are a lot of tools and weapons in that you can put on the Magnum Opus, like spinning tire rims, blades, and armor, and flamethrower. The flamethrowers are my favorite part. I just loved rolling up beside like little camps and tents, waiting for everyone to come out, and then just whoosh. Your harpoon, though, is your main tool. It can pull down gates, it can grab fuel tanks, it can snatch crates out of a storm. But in the end, as fun as it is driving around feeling like a badass, the car combat, like I said, the car's kind of fragile. I can lose half my car health running into a shrub, and I can just drive it off a canyon and be absolutely fine. Anyway, once you're out of the car, you're fighting hand to hand, Mad Max style, which is actually Batman Arkham Asylum style. Just really simplified. Now, as much as the combat is simplified from the Arkham Asylum stuff, where it's just punch, 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 counter when someone's going to attack you, it's really simple and easy to learn, so it's quick to get into it. And as annoying as it is that when you try and counter someone and someone else is coming at you from behind and you can't counter two at once, you gotta admit, it's kind of real. I mean, 5 guys aren't just going to hang around while you take on one by one, they're just going to mob you, and that's what they do in this game. All in all, though, once you've mastered the combat, there's really not much challenge into it. You just run around, punch, 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 counter, punch, punch. Now, you do have the Fury meter. Mad Max can get furious. And basically that just means you hit harder, you counter faster, and you just kind of get an adrenaline rush. It doesn't really do much for the combat, it just makes the fights shorter. Now, I wouldn't consider Mad Max a driving game or a fighting game. I would say it's more of an exploration game. It's kind of like Fallout in the fact that the main story seems to take forever because you keep getting distracted by everything on the way. Mad Max is a sandbox, literally in a sandbox. Half of the map is actually in a dried out seabed, which I thought was really cool because there's kind of shipwrecks everywhere to explore. And even the rock formations, when you look closely, they're not rocks, they're coral. You can clearly see where the seabed would end because you got lighthouses and land and like the big cliffs, and it really does make a natural divide for the world. You actually get to see Gastown in this game too. Like, you've heard about it from the movies, but this time you actually get to go visit it. What I really liked about Gastown is you could see it from everywhere. Wherever you are in this massive map, you just get your binoculars. Hell, you don't even need binoculars. You just look on the distance and this is smog coming and flames because Gastown is a big place. Because of that, because it just doesn't pop in when you get to a certain point in the map, it really does make this world really seem vast and traversable. You know you can see it, so you know you can get there. There's no real walls in this map either. Well, once you drive off into the desert, it basically just warns you, like, there's nothing out here. You're gonna die. As big as this map is, yeah, it is packed with things to do. Unfortunately, they are incredibly repetitive. Most of the map is made up of scavenging locations with like 1 or 2 pieces of scrap metal you need to build your car. But you don't need this stuff, and you certainly don't need to stop at every single one, fight a few people for like a spoon and a cog. Yes, there are lots of collectibles like history relics and blah 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 all over the world, but they don't mean anything, and really it's gonna take you way too much time to pick all this stuff up, and I don't think it's worth it. It's cool that there is so much stuff, but meh, Max has better things to do. Like eat some dog food. That's right, Mad Max has a survival element. You need to find food, you need to find water, you need to find gasoline, you need to find ammo. Now at first this sounded really cool. I was really conserving my ammo and water. I always had a spare gas tank in the car. But after you upgrade Mad Max and unlock strongholds and whatnot that replenish your water anyway, it kind of just becomes obsolete. So then the survival element you just don't worry about. I mean, it's kind of cool and you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can focus on other stuff, but there really isn't too much to focus on. If you loved Mad Max Fury Road, and face it, you did, this game is definitely worth picking up, especially now because it's bound to be a lot cheaper now that it's been out for a while. It just adds so much more to the world to have this hands-on experience in this post-apocalyptic Mad Max wasteland. And for that reason, I think this game is a piece of toast and jam.
Jammy.
Perfect for when you're hungry for more. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, click away and I will catch you next time. Wetness! So yeah, this is full of dog food. The dog. Had my face right up to it this whole time, so it gives you a real interesting aroma for when you're trying to film a video. I wonder if they serve this in the halls of Valhalla.